Ever pondered the origins of money? Let's journey back to a time when currency was a foreign concept, and barter reigned supreme. Picture a world where commodities were king, and the value of goods and services were directly exchanged, without the convenience of coins or notes. This, my friends, was the era of the barter system. It was a time when a pot of honey might buy you a pair of shoes, or a sack of wheat might be traded for a woven blanket. This was the economic backbone for many early civilizations, from the tribes of Africa to the societies of the Indus Valley. But, as you can probably guess, this system was far from perfect. One of the most significant challenges was the need for a double coincidence of wants. This simply means that for a successful barter to occur, both parties had to want what the other was offering. It's not hard to imagine how this could quickly become complicated. What if the beekeeper had plenty of shoes but needed a new spear? Or the wheat farmer had blankets aplenty but was in desperate need of a cow? Furthermore, there was the issue of divisibility. Some goods couldn't be split without losing their value. How do you divide a cow or a cart without rendering them useless? This posed a serious problem in the barter system. Additionally, determining equivalent value was a constant struggle. How many shoes equaled a pot of honey? How many blankets were worth a sack of wheat? Without a standard measure of value, trade was a constant haggle and discrepancy was rife. These limitations made it clear that while the barter system was a crucial first step in the evolution of trade, it was not the final solution. The need for a more efficient, standardized system of exchange was evident. This system, albeit ingenious for its time, was not without its drawbacks, paving the way for the birth of coinage. As societies evolved, so did their need for a more efficient system enter the era of coins. It's fascinating to think about how a small piece of metal could transform the way we exchange value. But that's exactly what happened in ancient times. In India, China, and Lydia, civilizations began to mint their own coins. These cultures recognized the convenience of a standardized form of currency. No longer did one have to worry about the subjective value of their goods or services. Instead, they could trade with confidence, knowing the worth of their coins was universally accepted. This was a game changer. Trade became quicker, easier, and more efficient. Markets began to flourish, economies grew, and societies thrived. Coins, these small, shiny pieces of metal, were at the heart of it all. Coins took the world by storm, but another major shift was on the horizon. From tangible coins to paper, a transformation that opened up new possibilities in the world of trade. As we journeyed from the simplicity of barter and coinage, the Middle Ages and Renaissance brought forth a new player in the arena of trade: paper money. Imagine the time when carrying coins was no longer the only way to make a transaction. With the advent of paper money, trade became more convenient and fluid, a development that was a game changer for economies across the globe. This transition wasn't just about the physical form of money changing, it was also a time when the concept of banking began to take shape. The establishment of banking systems marked a significant shift in how transactions were conducted. No longer were people required to have physical commodities at hand to trade. Banks became intermediaries, providing a safe place to deposit money and facilitating transactions on a larger and more complex scale than ever before. The concept of banking was also instrumental in the growth of economies. By offering loans, banks provided individuals and businesses with the capital needed to invest and expand, fueling economic growth and prosperity. The introduction of paper money and the emergence of banking systems were pivotal in the evolution of trade and commerce. They paved the way for the financial systems we know today, giving rise to new methods of exchange and value storage. While paper money and banking were major milestones, the world was yet to settle on a global standard: gold, the universal symbol of wealth. But how did it become the backbone of global economies? It all started with the gold standard, a system where the value of a currency was directly linked to gold. This wasn't just an abstract concept, mind you. The banknotes you held could be exchanged for a specific amount of gold. This system came into prominence in the late 19th century, transforming the face of global trade and economics. Countries around the world pegged their currencies to gold, creating a sense of stability and trust. Money wasn't just paper anymore, it had tangible value. But as the world economy grew more complex, the gold standard started to show its cracks. Rigid adherence to gold limited the flexibility of economies to adjust to new realities. This inflexibility led to economic booms and busts, which were difficult to manage. The gold standard illuminated the need for a more flexible monetary system. Imagine a world where money is not backed by any physical commodity. That's the world of fiat currency. Now let's journey into the era when gold and silver took a back seat and paper money took the stage. The transition from commodity-based money to fiat currency was a significant shift in the world of finance. It all started when governments realized they could control economies better if they weren't tied down by the finite nature of gold. So, they began issuing currency that was not backed by a physical commodity, but by the trust and confidence of the people. This was revolutionary. Fiat currency allowed governments to manage economies more effectively. They could control inflation, stimulate growth, and respond to financial crises in ways that would have been impossible under the gold standard. But, as with all great inventions, it wasn't without its critics. Some argued it gave governments too much power, while others worried about inflation. Despite these concerns, fiat currency thrived and became the norm worldwide. Fiat currency marked a new chapter, but the digital age was about to rewrite the whole book. In a world where everything is going digital, could money be far behind? Indeed, the digital age has transformed the way we handle our finances. In the late 20th century, we witnessed the advent of digital banking. Banks started offering services online, allowing customers to check their balances, transfer funds, and pay bills without having to step foot inside a bank. This revolutionized banking, making it more convenient and accessible. Alongside the rise of digital banking, credit cards became increasingly popular. These little plastic cards were more than just a convenient way to pay. They marked a significant shift in our relationship with money. Instead of physically handing over cash or writing a check, we could now make purchases with a simple swipe or tap. And the transaction details were recorded digitally. Electronic transactions took this a step further. With services like PayPal and Venmo, money could be sent and received instantly over the internet, making transactions faster and easier than ever before. And then of course there's online banking. With just a few clicks, we can manage our finances from the comfort of our homes or even on the go with our smartphones. We can transfer money, pay bills, and even apply for loans without having to interact with a human teller. The digital revolution has not only made managing money more convenient, but it has also laid the groundwork for a completely new kind of currency. The digital revolution paved the way for a new kind of currency, one that exists only in cyberspace. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrencies, where blockchain technology is reshaping our understanding of money. In the 21st century, a digital revolution emerged, shaking the foundations of our traditional financial systems. This revolution was ushered in by the creation of Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency, by an anonymous person or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was a radical idea, a decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash system, free from the control of any government or institution. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin operate on a technology called blockchain, a digital ledger that records every transaction across a network of computers. This technology ensures transparency and security, making it nearly impossible for transactions to be tampered with or falsified. The decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies is what truly sets them apart. Unlike traditional currencies, which are issued and regulated by central banks, cryptocurrencies are governed by consensus among their users. This means that no single entity has control over the currency, and transactions can occur directly between parties without the need for intermediaries like banks. But it's not just about Bitcoin. Since its inception, thousands of other cryptocurrencies have sprung up, each with their own unique features and uses. From Ethereum's smart contracts to Ripple's fast international money transfers, these digital currencies are not only changing the way we think about money, but also how we use it. The potential impact of this cryptocurrency revolution on the future of money is immense. They offer the possibility of financial inclusion for the unbanked, enhanced privacy and security, and the potential for decentralized finance or DeFi, which aims to replace traditional financial systems with blockchain-based ones. However, like any revolution, it's not without its challenges. Regulatory uncertainties, market volatility, and concerns about illicit activities are some of the hurdles that cryptocurrencies must overcome. But despite these challenges, the momentum of the cryptocurrency revolution seems unstoppable. As we stand on the brink of a new era, we're left wondering, what's next for the world of currency?